warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Umina Marsyaro. I'm from the Government Studies Program at Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University. In this presentation, I will revisit and expand about the academic essay I submit for the mid examination. The title is Civil Society and the Crisis Substantive Democracy in Indonesia. The essay addresses a political condition in Indonesia's democratic development, while procedural democratic marked by regular election and stable institutions appears functional on the surface. Substantive democracy continues to decline. Indicators such as civil liberties, freedom expression, and political culture also signs of deterioration. The central thesis of this essay is that civil society, particularly youth-driven and digitally adaptive movement, plays a crucial role in strengthening substantive democracy in Indonesia. Despite facing structural challenges such as digital repression, socio-economic, and declining institutional support. Okay guys, let me now walk through the four main arguments presented in this essay. The first, civil society organization or CSO have long been recognized as an essential component of any functioning democracy. They serve not only as watchdogs monitoring government action and holding institutions accountable, but also as active participants in shaping public policy. In Indonesia, CSO is played a significant role during the post-authoritarian era following the fall of the New Order regime, contributing to democratic transition and reform efforts, as documented by Pramestisari and Kabayantini 2022. With the rapid advancement of digital technology, civil society has undergone a fundamental transformation. It is no longer confined to formal hierarchical organization. Instead, civil society now includes informal networks, online communities, and grassroots movement, and that can mobilize public opinion and disseminate information at unprecedented speed. Scholars like Afriandi and Aryadi 2023 describe these contemporary movements as rhizomatic, meaning they are decentralized, non-hierarchical, and flexible. This structure allows them to respond quickly to emerging democracy challenge. However, the digital sphere is not without risks. Misinformation, political polarization, and increased state surveillance are real threats that civil society actors must negate. The three, to understand why civil society's role is so critical, we must first acknowledge in Indonesian democratic position. According to the Economic Intelligence Unit Democracy Index 2022, Indonesia is classified as a flawed democracy. This is a significant finding. It means that while electoral process exceeds the quality of democratic governance, including protection for civil rights and press freedom, remains deeply problematic. Looking at the ASEAN comparison table from Jeans and Roham 2022, we can see that Indonesia's democracy score reflect a slight but consistent decline. Countries like Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam are categorized as authoritarian or close autocratic. Meanwhile, Indonesia, alongside Malaysia and the Philippines, fall into the flawed democracy category, indicating systemic gaps that cannot be addressed by election alone. Furthermore, Indonesia's economic data reveals additional challenge despite an average GDP growth of approximately 5%, indicating significant income inequality. This inequality directly affects citizens' ability to participate meaningfully in democratic process, particularly for marginalized communities. The essay also argues the modern civil society in increasingly moving toward a more collaborative, evidence-based approach. Traditional moral arguments are no longer sufficient to influence policy. Organizations now need to support their claims with credible data and empirical research. Moreover, the combination of online and offline strategies, often referred to as hybrid advocacy, has proven effective in applying public pressure and influencing decision making process rather than viewing the informal digital nature of contemporary movement as a weakness. The essay argues that this flexibility is a key strength, allowing civil society to adapt quickly to changing political landscape. Reflecting on this essay, I believe there are several notable strengths for acknowledging. The first, the essay presents a clear and focused thesis that is consistently supported throughout the argument. Second is effectively integrates empirical data, including the EIU Democracy Index, Indonesia Gini Coefficient, and the ASEAN Comparative Table, which strengthen the analytical foundation. Third, the essay demonstrates balanced analysis. It does not simply argue in favor of civil society without acknowledging its limitation. It addresses critiques such as the fragmentation of digital movement and the potential lack of tangible policy outcomes. Finally, makes good use of academic sources from Indonesian and international scholars. However, if I were given the opportunity to revise this essay, I will focus on improving one key aspect is the integration of primary source. The current essay relies predominantly on the secondary literature, journal articles, and briefing papers. While these are credible and relevant, the arguments could be significantly strengthened by incorporating primary data. For example, conducting surveys on your digital participation in civic activism or including direct interviews with representative with civil society organization would provide a more grounded and original empirical foundation. This would not only improve the credibility of the arguments, but also demonstrate a deeper level of engagement with the research topic. Okay, in conclusion, civil society remains a vital and irreplaceable force in countering democratic backsliding in Indonesia. The emergence of youth-driven, digitally enabled movement has reshaped the landscape of civic engagement, making it more dynamic, inclusive, and responsive to real-world challenges. While structural obstacles, including digital repression, socioeconomic inequality, and organizational fragmentation, continue to pose significant challenge, civil society has demonstrated its capacity to adapt through innovation, cross-sector collaboration, and evidence-based advocacy. In a broader context, this discussion is not merely an academic exercise. It speaks to a fundamental question about the nature of democracy itself. Is democracy only about procedure and election, or does it also require the active participation of informed and empowered citizens? The answer, as this essay argues, is clearly the latter. Empowering civil society, especially the younger generation, is not optional. It is essential for achieving a more just, participatory, and substantive democracy in Indonesia. Okay guys, thank you for attention. I hope this presentation has provided a clear and meaningfully overview of my essay, arguments, and reflection. Bye bye.